Click play and call it work.
Hey there guys, Quirk here from MiniWarGaming.com and welcome to this week's Sit and Talk. I stole Josh's microphone because that's how I roll. In this week's Sit and Talk, I'm going to be answering your questions that you left for me and comments and reading pretty much everything here. Just so you guys know, next week it's going to be Dave for the Sit and Talk, so if you guys have any questions for him, just leave it in the comment section below, put Dave at the beginning and then your question or comment for him, and that way we know it's going to be for him. If you guys want to respond to any of the things that I said in this video, just put Quirk ahead of it, and that way we know it was for me. So, gonna get right into it. It's a half hour of me answering questions, and then another half hour in the vault for the sit and vault. But getting right down to it, we have Dynamaix, DY9 Amaix. I don't know how to pronounce your name, dude. I'm sorry. Quirk, go and high five everyone in the office. Thanks. Well, it's kind of late, but let's see who I can find. Steve, high five. George, high five. Yeah! Josh, high five! Yeah! There we go, everybody got a high five. Matt and Dave aren't in the studio right now. It's actually like 5:30, so everybody's pretty much home except for those three. Next up, we got Crazy4394. Quirk, can you think of a way to make the Black Templar competitive while adhering to fluff, especially since the other chapters have been getting new formations for their specializations? Not really. I haven't played Black Templars very much, so I don't really have any advice there. The only thing I can really think of is kind of use the general formations that are available to all the chapters and see what you can get out of that. That's about the best tip I can give you. I don't know any of the special rules for the Black Templars. I never use them, so sorry. Dahidi, Beverly, if you were a Nurgle unit, I said Beverly too, which would you be? I would be a Beast of Nurgle because they're like puppies and they just like to play and have fun and jump on people, and sometimes they hurt people when they jump on them. That's who I'd be, a Beast of Nurgle. CSDN, Quirk, if you think you're getting the hang of it back with Fantasy or Age of Sigmar, you should play Steve and use an undead-based army. I'm kind of getting the hang of Fantasy a little bit. Age of Sigmar I'm pretty happy with. I've actually been working on Ironjaws for that. That's the faction I wanted to use. As for Undead, I don't know too much about them. I know a little bit of the fluff, like you got in a gash and things like that. But I think next time Steve gives me a chance to play with him, I will try and use Undead just because I haven't really gotten a chance to use them. I don't know the fluff of them very much. So yeah, I'll take a look at it and see what I can do for that. Next up, we got Wargrin. Beverly. Really, guys? Come on. How does it feel to be the Blood Bowl ball? I'm actually a little salty because I didn't get to play Blood Bowl. I was super excited when we announced that we were going to do it, and then I didn't get to play. I got a little salty, and everybody keeps picking on me about it. So, as for that, it's actually not too bad. I'm probably one of the smallest guys here, so it's not difficult for people to pick me up and throw me around. So it's not that bad. Just when I hit the ground, it kind of hurts. GDT John. Quirk, in your video with Dave for the new Blood Angel supplement, Dave said that he thought that the Blood Angels was better than the Traders Hate one. You agreed. Do you still believe that to be true? And to clarify, did you mean that the book was better in terms of the rules or in terms of which army gained more out of the books? Thanks, you're awesome. Having a chance to play with both of them a little bit more, I still think the Blood Angels are a bit more powerful. The Traders Hate does give a lot of really neat features to the armies and the formations that you take, like doing the Path to Glory and being able to roll like twice on the boon table and just anything, like you just pick something and they can do it, can be pretty disgusting, especially when you start rolling like 66 and 65. Like just being able to randomly spawn Demon Princes all over the place is amazing. And being able to stack the boon tables is also pretty gross. Like if you roll, I think it's a 34, you get to roll D3 more times. So you get to roll like a ton of abilities on that. So it gets pretty gross pretty fast. Some of the formations, they felt like they got a little bit robbed. Like you take the Obliterators and it's like, okay, you can fire 2 different weapons per turn, but that doesn't mean you get to fire them again in the next turn. Like say you fire the last cannon and then you fire a Melta. Well, it still hasn't been a turn that's gone by, so you can't go back to firing the last cannon in the next turn. You have to fire 2 other weapons, and that kind of gets a little tedious at times. So I think it's really cool, but at the same time, I still think the Angels, the Blood Angel supplement is a lot better. They get a lot more features. The fact that they have more units that can just deep strike and assault right out of deep strike is amazing. And being able to also use the formations that are available to all the Space Marines with the new formations that are in their supplement just makes them even better. So I still think they have a bit more of an advantage out of the two supplements that came out. So, Muscle Maccan. I think that's how I pronounce that. Quirk, you've been playing with a lot of Chaos and Blood Angels lately. Which do you enjoy most and why? Also, of all the new formations for both, which ones do you really like the most and why? Keep up the good work. Hugs to Big Steve. I will definitely give Steve a hug later. The formations that I really like, I kind of like the cult one for Trader's Hate, where you take a Dark Apostle and at least 4 to 8 units of cultists, and if a unit dies on a 4+, they go into ongoing reserve and can outflank. It still counts as a killed unit for kill points, but it's pretty amazing when you consider that you get an entire unit back on a 4+ with outflank. It gets kind of gross there. It's amazing for objective games because you can just start throwing 20 cultists out on an objective with not having to worry about it. The Golden Host is pretty cool because you got all the Sanguinary Guard that just deep strike in with Dante, and that can get pretty hectic. I can't really think of many of the new formations off the top of my head, but I was having a lot of fun playing with them. It almost made me want to start playing Chaos or Blood Angels, but Dave's already got both those covered, so I'm just going to kind of steal his army whenever I get a chance. But yeah, I had a lot of fun using them, so definitely going to go back to them, and anytime Dave needs an opponent to use one of those, I'm going to volunteer, because I like using them. Quantus Tempus. Quirk, has anyone ever told you look like Riff Raff from Rocky Horror Picture Show? Nope, no one's ever told me that. I actually have no idea what Riff Raff looks like, so I will have to Google that. KenBomb11. Quirk, I'm curious whether or not you know what Lee used for basing materials for his Emperor's Children army. Many thanks. Yeah, actually. Went through a lot of work to make that. What he did was we have basically like trays, like food trays that you can get at like a Walmart or like a Dollarama or the equivalent of that. And it has this weird intricate design on it. It's designed to be a grip for your food and your plate so it doesn't slide all over the place. What he did was he actually took one of those and poured resin into it. So he has like this sheet of the resin and then took it out and took a hammer to it and just shattered it all so it looks like tiles. And he used that to make the bases for his Emperor's Children. And it looks really, really good. I was very impressed with how it came out. And I'm kind of jealous because I wanted to make my stuff look really good. And he did it better than I ever could. So, yeah. No, it's resin and the design on a food tray. That's how he made his bases. And it also shows how creative Lee is. So, next up we have Frenzy Fresh. Quirk, I wish you a great day and a great rest. Oh, and a great day to the rest of the MiniWarGaming staff. Oh, thank you. Big Zor. Quirk, how is Valhalla? Tell us everything about it. Unless it, of course, there is some part of the resort made. Whoa. There's been some sort of report made. I'm writing this comment on Friday the 7th. Okay. Yeah, Valhalla was awesome. Not really anything I can't tell you about it, but I'm going to kind of tell you the things that stuck out the most. First off, everybody who went to Valhalla was awesome and super friendly, and just the fact that everybody was there to play games was fantastic. You wake up after sleeping until like noon, go up to the game room, and there's at least 3 people there looking for a game. So it didn't even matter. There was, I think, a couple games that I played at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and there was still people playing when I was going to bed. And then I'd wake up and there's more people still playing, and there's just a variety of games. They were playing 40K. They were playing, there was an Apocalypse game that got played. They were playing War Machine. They had Mordheim going. They had Age of Sigmar going. They had Drop Fleet Commander going. So yeah, there was a lot of games that were being played. It was kind of awesome. I think Rob was in his element because he, in the mornings and afternoon, would sit there and paint his Zombicide stuff with a bunch of other people who came to paint. And then come nighttime, it was just a giant Zombicide game, and he was in heaven. So he had a lot of fun with that. The caterer, Danielle, was actually fantastic for every single meal that we had. It was like breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 4 days straight. Like we came in on the evening on Monday, and she had a late lunch for everybody and dinner ready. And then it was all the way till Friday morning. She had breakfast ready, and it was always handmade, like muffins. She had desserts always out for everybody. The one dinner that actually stuck out for me was kind of funny was she had put out appetizers for everybody. This was the last night that we were having dinner there. So she puts out appetizers, and I'm not a seafood guy. I can't really stomach the texture or the flavor of seafood. So I saw it. It's a lot of like maple covered salmon and things like that. And I was like, oh, I don't really do seafood, but I guess if I have to, like, no, I guess I won't eat. I'm okay. And all these people are coming up and they're eating like crazy, like, oh, this is so good, but I can't believe this is just all we get for dinner on the last night. It's kind of sad. And then she comes out and she's like, all right, main course. And we're like, wait, whoa, main course. And she busts out like chicken and she busts out steak and she barbecued these. So for 45 people, she barbecued food for. And it's chicken and it's steak and there's pasta and there's veggies and there was mashed potatoes and it was basically like having Thanksgiving. Just the amount of food that she had. It was amazing. And it's just one girl who was basically cooking for 45 people. So that was fantastic. The venue was gorgeous. It was a nice wood cabin up in Timbermoose, about 20 minutes north of Heber. I think it's Heber. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it was in Utah, so it was very, very nice there. The weather fluctuated like crazy. It would be, nice and warm and sunny, and then 3 hours later we had a blizzard, and it was nice and warm and sunny again. So a lot of fun. Couple videos that we did while we were up there, so you guys will get a chance to see those. And I'm pretty sure if you go on the Facebook page, there is a live feed that Dave did, and they felt the need to duct tape me to a post. So go ahead and check that out if you want to have a good laugh. And you kind of get a chance to see like the people from Valhalla. Dave walks around with the camera and just says hi to everybody, and it's really good. So I would recommend checking that one out. So yeah, if you ever have a chance to go to Valhalla, I would sincerely recommend it. It's a lot of fun, and it's just a nice little vacation for people who are into this hobby. So next up we have Dixonja. I hope I pronounced that right. Quirk, I recently started my Space Wolves army and was wondering if you could help me choose a paint scheme because I'm new to this game and I wanted to look natural, but I also have a small personal flair. If you could help me by explaining how to paint Space Wolves, that would be awesome. And I love all you guys bat reps and narratives. Well, thank you. If you want it to be your own individual thing, the one thing I'd recommend doing, because this is what I've been doing for my Iron Jaws, is watch a lot of painting tutorials. If you have a chance, download the Games Workshop book on how to paint them. And it goes through a lot of the techniques that you can use with any paints to get the similar effect for your Space Wolves. So if you wanted to do like broken armor, and the broken armor they have is blue, but you want to do it with red, it shows you the process that they go through to get that. And all you have to do is just sub in different paint colors and you'll get the same effect. I guess it really depends. Like if it's your first army that you're ever painting, I always recommend paint it your favorite color because it's going to look awesome. You're going to be happy with it. And it's one of those things that it's your favorite color. So every time you look at it, you're happy. For me, one of the things I got really excited about when I had to paint orcs is that green's my favorite color. So I started painting up all the green for everything. And I was like, wow, this looks awesome. And even now when I look at it, I'm happy. Now I started working on the Iron Jaws and I'm doing the yellow for them. And I'm falling in love with yellow, but I still get to paint the green. So it's a little bit of a mix for both. But yeah, check out the painting tutorials that Chris has if there's anything in particular you want to learn how to do. And then as for just doing the entire army and the paint scheme, go with a color that makes you happy and just try and figure out how other people have painted theirs and just sub in your own colors for that. That's the best advice I can really give because it really depends on your level of painting. It depends on how you want to paint them. It depends on how much detail you want to go into it. Depends on what you want to do for the base. Do you want to give them a snow effect? Do you want to give them a like a lava effect on the base? Are you going to do OSL for things like that? There's a lot of questions that it goes into. So if it's like the first thing you've ever painted, just paint it something that makes you happy. And remember, painting's a big chunk of the hobby, so you got to make sure you're enjoying what you're painting. So that's about the best advice I can really give you. As for making it look natural and have your personal flair, again, just refer to the books and sub in the colors that you like. Next up we have Mathioso. Okay. Hey Quirk, in a previous video you had mentioned that you were working on Iron Jaws army for Age of Sigmar. When can we expect to see them being played? If you've already played them, what is your favorite thing about them? I just finished my Iron Jaws army and I'm very excited to see you play them in the future. So, there's a bit of a story to this one. Recently, I sold one of my War Machine armies for a fairly large chunk of money as store credit at Max Aggression, which is the local gaming store for us. And then I used that store credit to purchase my Iron Jaws army. So right now I have 3 boxes of the Get Starting collection. I have a Mega Boss, I have a Weird Boy Shaman, and I have 2 boxes of Brutes, and then I also have 3 Maw Crushers. So yeah, I have a lot of stuff. The thing is, I just started painting it. I spent way longer than I should have on the Maw Crusher. I'm happy with how it came out, but I spent way longer on it than I should have. And I've been really looking forward to kind of sitting down and working on everything, but I'm going to be gone for the next 10 days. I'm actually going on a cruise with my family. So this is the last thing I'm filming before I go out on this cruise. So when I get back, it's basically going to be hunker down and get some painting done, where I'm going to be spending a lot of late nights here trying to get all my iron jaws painted. But as for when you're going to see them, probably not for at least 2 months, just because I'm going to be gone, and then I come back, I have to paint everything, and then I have to film it, and then you'll see it popping up a little bit later. So that's about a 2-month period before you're going to see my iron jaws on the table. But I will make sure that I keep you guys posted with how the iron jaws are coming on Facebook. So I'll be posting pictures that you can see like how much of the army I've got done. Right now I have the Mega Boss done, a Maw Crusher done, and the Weird Boy Shaman. So that's where I'm at right now. As for using them, I got to test out a little bit of it, and I am a huge fan of the Maw Crusher just because of the Raging Bull special rule. If you don't know what that is, basically the way it works is you can make your charge, and then when you do, it's got the chart for like how much health it has. If it's at full health, you roll 8 dice, and for every 4+ you roll, everything within, like not everything, but a model within at least 3 inches suffers a mortal wound. If after rolling those dice, there are no more miniatures within 3 inches of you, you can do another charge. And you can repeat this process pretty much until you actually don't kill everything with that Raging Bull special rule, and then you do your regular attacks. The thing that made me really happy was that somebody had a row of Skaven lined up, and I got it from the side. So it would literally be like, okay, there's about 4 of them here. So I rolled that, and I get like 5. Okay, well, there's 5 of them dead. Now there's nothing within 3 inches, so I do the charge again. Killed more. Do the charge again. Killed more. I actually wiped out an entire unit and then got to charge a second unit before even rolling my attack dice. It was just a Raging Bull that cleared out a unit for me. I think that's amazing. I'm not sure how I feel about paying 520 points for it, though. So that's how I feel about the Iron Jaws. I like their special abilities. I like their command rules. I like just the destruction special abilities. The hero phase, you get to roll a d6 and move that many inches in the hero phase. Definitely helps make up for the lack of movement in the Iron Jaws faction. So very happy about that. But yeah, you can look forward to seeing them probably in the next 2 months. That's not a promise, but that's what I'm shooting for, and that's what I'm working for. So next up, we've got that one is for Josh. We've got one here for that looks like Dave. Okay, so next page. Come here, you. Rah. Here we go. Tom York. Quirk. How many wounds do Ludus have, and what would they do? Oh, what would you do if they changed the rules for them just for you? Get to the chopper. Ludus currently have 1 wound. Personally, I disagree with that. I feel like they should have 2. If I made that joke actually a couple days ago, that if Games Workshop watches our videos and decides, you know what, we like him and he's getting picked on a lot, so we're going to make Ludus have 2 wounds in the next codex, I'm going to be on cloud 9. If they did that, it would be hilarious. I would laugh like crazy. I'd probably post like a giant thank you video to Games Workshop just for being so funny. And yeah, I'd be really happy with that. I'd be willing to pay extra points for Ludus if they got 2 wounds each, because that's amazing. So it is kind of a secret little hope that I have for when the next Orc Codex comes out, whenever that's going to be. Next up, we have Stingray Bill. Quirk, I just noticed that Space Marine Assault Box is $1 more than the Space Marine Veteran Squad. Does that make sense to you? Wouldn't the latter be more expensive in points than the former? I don't get it. Your Alpha Legion 30k army is cool, and would like to assemble the 2 missing... And I would like to assemble the 2 missing legions and their Primarchs. Then I could challenge you guys and your legions. Yeah, man, that'd be awesome. As for the reason why the Space Marine boxes are differently priced, I think it comes down to what you actually get in the box and how much plastic and time and effort they had to put into actually manufacturing it. It's kind of one of the reasons why I'm a little bit salty that the Centurion boxes, so 3 models, is almost $100. And then when I look at like all the items and all the bits and all the detail and all the weapons and everything that you can get for them, I'm like, okay, it kind of makes sense now. I can forgive that. But yeah, the Space Marine Assault Box and then the Space Marine Vanguard Squad, I think it's just because the Space Marine Assault Squad had... Ooh, I'm making noise. Just probably has a few more bits or a little bit more time put into it, but I can't really think of it off the top of my head. I'd have to actually look at the sprues and go over it, but that's my guess. All right, next up we have Zach Zini. Quirk, has it occurred to you that you keep turning into spawn because the Dark God knows you are actually an orc and not a demon? You should do Iron Jaw's Path to Glory and see if it works out better. Yeah, there's been a lot of times when I just rolled terrible in this Path to Glory. I have no idea why, but yeah, I'm rolling terrible in this. I would love to do an Iron Jaw's Path to Glory. I think it would be great. I'd be a little bit worried though for my wallet when 3 games in a row I roll that I get a Mega Boss on a Maw Crusher. That would kind of worry me a little bit. Even though you can't really do that in the Path to Glory. I like the layout that they have for it, where depending on which hero you pick determines how many units you can get and how many like things you can roll for and stuff like that. So I do like that functionality to it. Makes it a little bit more affordable, a little bit easier on the pocketbook, and it actually think balances out a lot of the Path to Glory factions. So I think that's kind of cool. Skaven still did not get super lucky with that. Phott? Phott. Okay, I have no idea. Quirk, no question. Just keep being excellent. Oh, thank you. Because you are. Oh, thank you. I'm a new Vault member, and your Path to Glory stuff with Dave is awesome and got me to sign up. I cannot get enough of it, especially when you turn into a spawn. I feel like everybody just likes watching me like have terrible luck and turn into a spawn. So, well, I'm glad you got some enjoyment out of it. That's what I'm aiming for. I'm hoping that you guys enjoy watching me go through all this terrible pain. Okay, Cassadar the Spy Master. Quirk, where are the Harlequins? Are people just not asking for them, or have you retired that army for the time being? Also, do you think you could bring a second Alfarius in a 30k game and be like, boom, Omegron is here as well? He just wants to give the loyalists some dagger hugs to justify it, or would that put you at a much of an advantage over everyone? Honestly, to answer your first question for the Harlequins, I actually think there's going to be a couple battle reports coming out where I do play the Harlequins. I dusted them off. I played them a bit more. Had a couple of guests actually request that I bring them. So here you go, guys. I brought out the Harlequins again. I think I wrapped my head around how to play them a little bit better, and it's not my exact playstyle. I like playing as orcs or playing as Space Marines where I can run in and not have to worry about being a glass cannon and just dying. But I am kind of figuring out how to use them a little bit, how to kind of use the hit and run mechanics so that I don't die all the time, and how I can make sure that I'm tied up in combat when I need to be or when I'm out in the open because like I want to take the cover saves and stuff like that. So I am kind of figuring out, but still a little tricky there. As for the Alfarius Omegron trick, I really was hoping that they would come up with some sort of a rule for that when the second Red Book came out, and they didn't. I kind of died a little inside. It would be really cool to bring 2 Primarchs in a battle report, but at the same time, it's also super illegal, and that would also be 820 points for 2 models. So, yeah, there is that. So that's probably why I'm not going to do it. But I do like the idea. I would probably do it if we were going to have a fun game. I just think that Josh, Steve, and Matt would all be like, no, this is not allowed. Put it away. So, oh, last note for this week. The 40k weapons in the background, what are they made out of, and where do I get them? That one has been bugging me for a while now. The weapons that we have is a combination. Some of them were actually made by Adam from Greenleaf Terrain. I think he's the one who made the flamer, the melt-a-gun, and the like the bolters, like the bolt pistol, stuff like that. He also made a couple of the orc weapons. So we have the Slugga-Choppa, and I think we also have a Shuda. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure we have a Shuda. But those were made by Adam from Greenleaf Terrain, so you can check him out on Facebook, and I think he has a website. It's just greenleafterrain.ca or .com. Then the other ones that we have the rocket launcher, the Havoc missile launcher, and a plasma gun, and those were all made in-house by Rob. For the majority of it, they're all made out of foam, like insulation foam. And then for the rocket launcher, I believe Rob made it out of foam and a giant tube that we had laying around for some reason. I think it was used to put the carpet in one of the studios. So that's what he made that out of. So, right. Cheers. Have a nice day. Stroke Josh's beard, and don't out Canada the rest of the guys. Oh, out Canadian the rest of the guys. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. How are we doing for time here? Okay. We're good. Still got 5 more minutes. So, next up we have ABPBM. Quirk, we need more open vaults, dude. Also, when are we going to see that Ultramarine army in 30k? So, I may have bit off a little bit more than I can chew when it comes to doing stuff. I still have the Alpha Legion that have a few models left to be painted and go up. I have a Terminator squad that needs to get done. I have a Storm Eagle that needs to get done. And I think I have a couple solos. I don't know. But there's that for the Alpha Legion. For my Ultramarines, I have the Fulmentaurus done. I have a Leviathan Dreadnought. I have Rebute Guilliman, and I have a Praetor done. And that's it. That's all I got for my 30k for Ultramarines. The reason why is because the Ultramarines is my own personal army, so I can't paint it on company time. And recently we've been filming a lot, so I haven't had a lot of like free time to just kind of sit down and work on them. And with Age of Sigmar and the Iron Jaws coming out, now I really don't have much time because I've been working on the Iron Jaws so that we can feature them in the Age of Sigmar stuff. And that kind of took priority because I want my own Age of Sigmar army, and I already have a 30k army. I have the Alpha Legion, so basically the priority for everything kind of got shuffled around a little bit. So right now it's Iron Jaws, then it's going to be the Ultramarines, and then whatever else I have below that. It will probably be another 40k army. I'm not sure what yet, but it will probably be a 40k army. So that's the reason why you haven't seen the Ultramarines, and you probably won't see them for a little while because I'm focusing on the armies for Age of Sigmar. I want to get them done, and it does take a little while to do the yellow on them. So I've also got probably 100 models to paint like that. So it's going to take me a little while, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not a very fast painter, and I can't outsource it to Lee because it's not a company army. So next up, we have William Kaw. Quirk, if you could throw a fictional character into the 40k universe, who would it be and why? Deadpool. Because I think it would be hilarious to have a wisecracking, fourth wall breaking, immortal in the 40k universe. I would find that hilarious. And the fact that the Vindicator assassin already kind of has the same look as him, it wouldn't be that difficult. I just don't think he'd be a sniper. I think he'd be more of a Doom Rider or something without the motorcycle. Yeah, but it would definitely be Deadpool. I think it'd be hilarious to have a wisecracking guy just running around like everything's all grim dark. Everybody's all like, there is only war. And then you have just Deadpool showing up like Chimichanga. Like, I think it'd be amazing. So I do try and find the humor and everything. So that would be why. But yeah, totally Deadpool. And I also just watched the Deadpool movie. So that's another reason why. Alrighty, and this is going to be... Okay, we got 2 more comments left. So next one's going to be Drew999. Quirk, okay, seriously, sir. How can you always roll so bad? Do you need to sacrifice some orcs to Gork and Mork or something? I have no idea. Like, it's gotten to the point now where I will throw a die, and before it even bounces off the table, I'll be like, that's going to be a 1. I just felt it. I felt it leave my hand, and as it left my hand, it was like, I'm going to be a 1 because I hate you, Quirk. And then, of course, bounce, bounce, bounce. 1. Huh, look at that. I just lost another Terminator. So, yeah, that's part of the reason why. I actually have no idea why I'm rolling so bad. It's just terrible, terrible luck. So I feel like I need to find a leprechaun or something. So yeah, it's just really bad. I do need to sacrifice some dice to Gork and Mork. Yeah, I definitely think I need to do that at some point in time just to try and get my luck back up, or at least back on par with everybody else. It's gotten to the point now where I can't even play a game and be like, okay, statistically this should work. Now my comment is, okay, one of these 40 dice should hit. Like, that's pretty much how my math's been going. So, yeah, I've been having terrible, terrible luck. All right, and the last comment that I'm going to have for the sit and talk before we go into the sit and vault is going to be Janky Nids. Quirk October. Okay. How's the weather up there coming? Ooh. How's the weather up there coming up these next months? Also, loving the new dice, but not loving the rolls. Man, keep... my man, whoa, wow, this is all over the place, I can't read. Also loving the new dice, but not loving the rolls, my man. But keep it up, can't get worse. Yeah, probably could. Anyways, when will we see you play against Cult Mechanica with your Space Marines? And can it be a try-hard bat rep? LOL. I got a couple lists if you want that I can send you. Thanks, hope to see you. Thanks, hope to see it against maybe Josh, and keep up the great work. Thank you. I have no idea when I'm going to go up against Josh's Cult Mechanicus. This also depends on when I get my Space Marines done, because I have my 40k Ultramarines and my 30k Ultramarines. I'm going to batch paint them all together, because that's just the easiest way to do it. It's not a big jump between Mark 7 and Mark 4 armor. As for the weapons, that's going to be probably the trickiest part, is to make sure I keep the weapons separate so that I don't accidentally put like a Volkite on a Mark 7 guy, and I don't put a Grav gun in a Mark 4 guy's armor. So the one thing that does take the longest amount of time when I'm painting my Ultramarines is the bases. I kind of liked the Rebute Guilliman's base where it's all marble, And so I decided to make all the bases on all my guys marble, and that takes forever to paint because it's just a long, tedious process, and I have no way of speeding that up. So, yeah. Anyway, so there you go, guys. That is going to be it for this week's Sit and Talk. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As always, Vault members, go ahead and click the link below. You'll be able to see the next half hour where I go through the remainder of your comments. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, one last reminder. Next week is going to be Dave. So if you have any questions or comments for him, just put Dave in the comment section below with your question or comment, and that way he'll know it's for him. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Happy wargaming.